You are also a refined Indian. No, Don Francisco, I am a learned man. Because you can read and write, does that make you better than an Indian? It goes deeper than that. I am an enlightened man, because I accept my Indianism. Vamos. An Indian, even if educated, will always be an Indian. Marca Vilca. Tell us, where is Atahualpa? Huayracocha Francisco, go to Cajas and Huancabamba, and you will get some more information of his whereabouts. Indio. Are you sure you are not sending us to our death? That I don't know. You will encounter the nobles of Caira and Motup, who have even rebelled against the Incas. The Spaniards were on their way to Cajamarca. Meanwhile, the victorious Quito generals commanded that all nobles in Cuzco receive their brand of justice. Nobles of Huáscar. The civil war is over. What happened in the empire was a conflict between two brothers to see who was the most able. Atahualpa won. This is the age of the great Tichi Capac. As Chalco Chima finished with his apparent conciliatory message, Huáscar was already feeling the harsh lashes of their justice. Cuzcos. Kneel down. Pull your eyelashes and blow them north where Atahualpa is. The ritual finished, the Inca nobility were surrounded by the Quito generals. Chalco Yupanc. Why did you crown Huáscar knowing that Atahualpa was more capable? I did, because Huáscar was chosen to inherit the crown before Huayna Capac's departure to the north. General Huanca Aki. We practically know the size of your sandals. We have been following your footprints all the way from Quito. Mama Rawa. You are not the Coya queen. You were just another concubine of Huayna Capac, and Huáscar is not your legitimate son. Give this urine to him. He is thirsty. The nobility of Cuzco had to suffer the blows of justice of the Quito victors, who would also pay with the same coin to a different master who was getting closer and much crueler than they were. My son, you should have never maltreated the ambassadors of Atahualpa. You deserve all that is happening to you. His mother slapped Huáscar, who was tied down on a wooden stretcher, a most humble position for a son of the sun. The Quitos punished the priests and generals of Huáscar by letting heavy stones fall on their backs, breaking their spines to never again do sacrifices or fight. Chalco Chima, the lord of Quito, is sending his high priest, Cusi Yupanc, to see what to do with Huáscar and his family. He is going to be more severe than we are. Quiz, I have come with strict orders from Atahualpa to eliminate all traces of the Inca dynasty. It is known that the next Inca leaders tried to erase all the deeds of their predecessors, and start a new period. Atahualpa may have taken this anomaly to extremes, due to their civil war. He would get rid of most of the lineage of Huáscar, the storytellers, and their string quipo writings. That is one reason why our history is a distorted one. Justice over, only a few brothers and close relatives of Huáscar survived. Some by escaping and others by siding with Atahualpa. Huáscar, his wife, and their children were spared. Cusi Yupanc, we have found the mummy of Tupac Yupanc, the conqueror of Quito. Quiz, rattle that mummy on the streets until the last of his bones are scattered all over. Terror followed in the city of stones where the boulders of the great fortresses witnessed what happened to the Incas, and we still continue perpetrating injustices among ourselves. Sometimes I feel like a betrayer for portraying my ancestors as having exclusivity on cruelty. Nevertheless, our past has to be told as it occurred, if it did, so it will not be repeated again, hoping that we will evolve into beings capable of goodwill, at least toward our own. While these events were taking place in Cuzco, I went to seek some solace with the civilized men created by a true God. My soul was shattered after witnessing the atrocities committed by uncivilized people who worshipped false idols. Condor soul. Where have you been? You seem to be distressed. Oh. Don Francisco, I have been to the place where you so much want to go. When you get there, I hope your God will redeem the blood spattered in the city that saw the rise of the Incas, and now it will attest its demise by strangers who will spill more blood than they ever did. Man of the future, you are drunk with that horrible chicha. No. I am inebriated with the wickedness of men against men. Something incomprehensible among human beings. After a 2-month stay in Pocos, the Spaniards continued to the valley of Tangarara, where the first city council was formed in San Miguel de Pura. The governorship was given to Hernando Pizarro, instituting the first oligarchies in Peru. Capito, a noble of Atahualpa, has been with us in disguise. He is not as humble as the rest of the Indians. He wants to see you. Felipillo. Ask him why he hasn't told us that he was an emissary of the Inca. Bearded men. You are a bunch of thieves. Atahualpa wants back all the gold that was stolen from him. Hernando, this Indian doesn't know whom he is talking to. Torture him. When he comes to his senses, bring him to me. The spy envoy of Atahualpa understood who the invaders were. Sinquinchera, did the strangers treat you well? Great Atahualpa, they are so few that I can kill them, if you give me 500 warriors. I would only spare the smith who forges swords, the trainer who tames the horses, and their barber who makes anyone look good. Atahualpa did not allow him to go after them. Instead, he instructed his troops to destroy the towns where the Spaniards were passing through, so that none of his subjects would align with them. Francisco. So far, Atahualpa has not attacked us. That means he wants us to go where he is. We have waited too long for Almagro. It is time that we leave these coastal lands. No. We have to wait for my partner. Francisco. Without him, the empire will be all ours. Hernando, how are we going to confront the thousands of Indians with the few of us? We won't need Almagro, if we take the Inca hostage. His brother convinced Francisco. Pizarro spoke to his men, Spaniards. Those who want to stay in San Miguel, this is the time to choose. Those who desire to continue, follow me. Of the 200 men, 5 of the infantry and 4 of the cavalry decided to stay. The rest followed Francisco. They had nothing to lose in an expedition where death was no longer a constant companion. Don Francisco, our history makes us believe that only a few of you conquered the Incas. If that was true, then it was not a war but a genocide. What else could it have been? The chroniclers portrayed you as heroes, because nobody wants to win an easy war. Words. Words. Why don't you accept that what we did was boldness on our part? Don Francisco, your courage against backward people is not in question. History is for distorting the facts to morally subdue a race that innocently let the old world rape the